In Cedar Key, the emergency siren warns residents to leave by 8 p.m. tonight. Hundreds of thousands of people living near the shore have been ordered to evacuate. Motorists lined up at gas stations waiting to fill up. Their main fear is not the wind, but water. The forecast calls for 125-mile-per-hour winds and a storm surge of 12 feet in some areas. In Tallahassee, Florida, grocery store shelves were picked clean, and beaches that are normally packed were eerily empty. Governor Rick Scott has repeatedly told Floridians to seek higher ground.
But we can rebuild your house. We cannot rebuild your life. So take this seriously.
CBS News correspondent Omar Villafranca is in Port St. Joe, Florida, where the storm is expected to hit hard. Omar, what other preparations are you seeing ahead of this hurricane?
Well, we're seeing a lot of evacuation, first of all. A lot of the roads out of the area and the bridges here in Port St. Joe, people were just getting out of town, literally. We were also seeing, while we were coming in, people who were stocking up on gasoline as they were heading inland. And as we mentioned in the story, people were buying food, but also going to several of the grocery stores, we saw people buying batteries. They're expecting to be several days, maybe even longer, without power. When Hermine hit here in 2016, we covered this storm as well. And people, that was one of the big things, without power. So, of course, people were having to charge phones and do anything in the light in their car if it had gasoline. So that's one way that people are really trying to prepare with this coming storm.
So, Omar, Governor Rick Scott is warning that this storm could kill. Are residents taking the warnings and evacuation orders seriously? Are you seeing a surprising number of people ignoring them?
Well, there are always going to be people who ignore them. And it's an interesting note, even though there are mandatory evacuation orders, there's not a lot of sheriff deputies who are going out there and actually enforcing it and knocking on people's doors and telling them to get out. If people are going to buy their supplies and they're going to sit down and try to ride the storm out, they're going to do that. Otherwise, it would be a full-time job for the deputies and constables in the area to try to get somebody out of here. It would be a really, really tall task for them to do. People are staying, but there are a lot of people, even vacationers from out of town. Even though we talked to one couple who was from Kentucky, actually a large group of people who were from Kentucky, and they realized, okay, our vacation is over. We wish we could stay. The hotel's kicking us out, and we don't really know the area, so they were going to make the drive back. Some people from Tennessee we also talked to. They said, we were just in a car 8 hours yesterday. We spent the night. We got to go back. They're listening to the governor because, like he was saying, it's the storm surge that really can kill people.
That's good. I'm glad people are listening. Omar Villafranca, thank you, and stay safe.